Alright, so welcome guys to another review, and today we're gonna check out another Hidizs. This is the Hidizs MM2, and here in this channel I did review the MS2s and I did like the overall tuning. It's one of my favorite hybrids under $100. It's really interesting that this is also a hybrid configuration, but now with the magnetostatic driver, which is a bit different compared to your usual BAs, and that might give us a different sound to the ear. You're getting Hidizs and you're getting this kind of design, a more blocky design, a bit different compared to the MS2s. One magnetos, a static, a balanced membrane, and one dynamic driver, hybrid as well, and the MM2s. So of course at the back you're getting some information: 18 ohm impedance, 104 sensitivity, dynamic driver, 10.2 millimeter, dual voice coils and dual cavities as well. And in terms of the packaging overall, very similar to what you're getting with the MS2s. So not the best packaging that I've seen for sure. So this is around $80 from what I know now. So it might change when they release it. So the release will be around April 1, which is around the time that this video will be released. So I will put maybe a description of the price below, an addendum on this when we have this live opening it up. And this is going to be our unboxing experience, and it seems that I'm getting the black color, which is definitely something that I like personally. So actually I haven't reviewed a lot of Hidizs stuff yet, but I do like the overall feel of their IMs. Relish music, beauty in the details, and actually the box here is quite a hard case kind of thing. It's the first time that I've seen something like this. Hidizs MM2, just the world you hear. And of course, let's put that aside first. And it seems that you're getting a case here, which is really cool. Look at this, guys. The size here is maybe AirPods Pro kind of size, not that big. And you're getting a nice selection of tips as well. So you are getting maybe 6 pairs here. And it seems that you're getting some replaceable filters here as well, which is again a nice upgrade here. And it's in this metal casing as well. So again, first time that I've seen something like this for a Chi-Fi. Yeah, this is a good sign for us. The packaging is quite cool for me, and it seems that this might be the cable that this is coming with. Quite silky, I would say, in the straight plug as well. And you're getting that 2-pin connector as well on top, the KZ Escom 2-pin connector. Maybe not the most sophisticated cable that I've seen in this price range. And yeah, from the get-go, the build quality here is in the looks as well really nice. This is maybe a notch up compared to the MS2s, I'd say, because the MS2s is all plastic in build. Now you're getting that maybe sci-fi look here. Definitely one of the most unique IEMs that I've seen. Look at that, guys. You're getting a lot of shine there on top. And also, yeah, the shape as well of this is similar to the MS2s as well. But the MS2s has that big logo of the Hidizs. This is more I would say understated in the logos part, but you're getting that really flashy design, which is definitely really cool. And in my lights here, it looks really nice here. And looking at the side, you're getting that fins. This is the smaller fins, which is I personally like. So this is kind of like custom fit to the ear. It will be stable but not uncomfortable to wear, which is definitely nice. So this may be a safer kind of shape. This is a universal shape. So a lot of people will just wear this and be okay with the shape here, but this is in the medium side of the shape here. But yeah, let's try to put this on the ear. Alright, so we are now wearing it on the ear, and on the ear it's definitely really stable. So it does go inside the ear, and because of that fins, it's really stable and quite snug for me on the ear. So this is not the most comfortable, but definitely the stability is right up there. So the fit here for me maybe reminds me a lot of maybe a KZ TRN kind of shape, the usual shape on the ear. So stability is quite good. It's quite a balance of maybe comfort and stability here. So this might be good for some casual listening, I'd say. So alright, so let's try to have our first listen, and let's try to figure out the sound quality in the MM2s. So let's try to listen to some tunes, and we're gonna start with Porn by Bruno Mars. Here's the first. This is more of a fun sound with the MM2s. It's a V-shaped kind of sound, and maybe with some bass elevation as well. So that definitely is different compared to the MS2s. So this is more of a fun kind of bassy kind of presentation. So it reminds me a lot of maybe a TFZ kind of sound to the ear, but this is a bit more toned down compared to a TFZ kind of sound or a blonde kind of sound. So maybe the closest thing that I can think of for the sound is the TFZ Live 3s. So something like that, or maybe the TFZ T2s. So it has that fun nature of the sound. So being a U-shaped kind of sound to the ear, so definitely the mids are recessed in the mix. So the bass is elevated, and you're getting that double horns on top as well. So it gives it a lively kind of presentation, an energetic kind of presentation to the ear. So going to the bass region, so actually surprising how much deep the sub bass here And the amount of sub bass here in the mix, quite prominent boom for me. So definitely more of a fun bass, more of an aggressive bass for me in the mix. But even so, not that much mid bass bleed here. So compared to the TFZs, maybe the Blondes of the world, the mid bass bleed here is more controlled. But yeah, definitely this more in the aggressive side of bass. For bass heads, this might pass for you. But actually compared to your usual TFZs and also your Blondes, the bass here is a bit more tight in the presentation. Let's try another track. Let's try some happier Marshmallow. Here in this track for the bass region, so it resolves the sub bass for me really nicely. So even the rumble in the bass, it resolves it really nicely. So ample, bass here for some electronica, some hip hop tracks here for me. So yeah, bass heads will like this IM. But maybe one issue for me here is yeah, for some people, of course, who doesn't like that elevated bass for me in the mix, you might not like this IM. So going to the vocals, let's try some female vocals. So the vocal positioning here, yes, the mids is recessed in the mix, actually really recessed in the mix here. So this is a V-shaped sound through and through. And yeah, for me personally, the positioning of the female vocals is not that nice for me. And that's quite small in the presentation as well. So there's some maybe U-shaped, sounding IMs that has quite good body in the vocal. But here, it's a bit maybe thin for my liking here. So not big fan of the female vocals here. So let's try some male vocals. I Miss You by Incubus. So wait to the male vocals as well. So the male vocals again recessed in the mix here, and not that thick presentation as well, not the fullest bodied vocal presentation for me. So for both male and female vocals, I find it to be bit recessed for my liking and also a bit thin for my liking as well. So that's quite surprising coming from a dynamic driver presentation. So definitely in this price range, I'm expecting a bit more for the vocal presentation. I'm also encountering a bit of maybe hotness for me in the vocals as well. So it's actually quite aggressive in the presentation as well. So because of that double horns on top and that fun tuning, it's more in the aggressive side of presentation. And there's some hint of shoutiness for me in the vocals here. But maybe one advantage here because of that Magnetostat driver is, again, this is quite a lively presentation. So it has a bit more oomph, maybe a bit more liveliness, a bit more bite compared to your usual dynamic drivers. But it's not that far off for me. So it's not that big of a difference compared to the usual maybe dynamic drivers. So compared to maybe the jump between a dynamic driver and a BA. So the jump here from dynamic driver to Magnetostat is not that big for me, but it's definitely there. So if you're looking for a bit more maybe liveliness, this might be something that you can consider. So going to the top end, let's try some V-swells. So for me in the top end, you're getting that double horns on top, so ample extension for me here. So the guitars is being resolved nicely with a good extension. So it doesn't feel boxed off for me. It's quite open of a sound for me. And it's more in the aggressive side of presentation as well, more in the lively side of presentation. So it's quite engaging, so it doesn't feel boxed off. So it's quite revealing for me of a sound, which is nice. A very monitor type of top end for me. So for guitar tracks, for some jazz, acoustic tracks, that top end will resolve quite nicely for you. However, in the other side, so having that double horns on top and actually really big double horns on top here. So it does have some thinness for me in the cymbals. So like for example here in these walls, I find that the cymbals is a bit too thin for my liking. And also there's some hotness for me in the cymbals and the presentation as well. So again, aggressive side of presentation. So at the top end, having that double horns is okay, but yeah, the thinness of the cymbals for me is a bit too noticeable. So going to some The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. So going to some soundstage, actually quite big for me here. Above average soundstage, maybe not the biggest, but one of the bigger ones that I've checked in the $100 range. Going to some separations, actually the presentation here is more in the smoother side, so this is not a clean kind of presentation. So the separation is not that black and white for me, so average in the presentation. Micro detail as well, again, a bit better compared to your other dynamic drivers, but this is not a micro detail monster for me, so this won't beat out your BA counterparts. Alright, so that's my listen with the Hidizs MM2s. So what do I think of them? Alright, so who is the MM2s for? So this for those people who's looking for a Magnetostat hybrid IEM and that you're looking for some bass and fun in your life. A very TFZ kind of sound for me on the ear. So if you're looking for maybe a hybrid, kind of TFZ, this might be something that you can consider. However, for me in the other side, I didn't like the mids here that much, and also the top end for me. It's a bit too thin for me for my liking. So actually for me, this won't go to my top 5. There are other IEMs in the $100 range that I can recommend over the MM2s. But still, if you are a bass lover and also hybrid lover, if you like to try out a different sound to the ear, a Magnetostat kind of sound, the Hidizs MM2 might still be something that you can consider. Alright, so that's my look at the Hidizs MM2s. So I do like the MS2s. It's one of my favorites in the channel, but they did change the tuning here for the MM2s. Maybe that's what they're trying out, not having maybe just one you know, house sound, maybe trying out different tunings. But of course, if you learn something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Maybe the next one would be the eDune. So it's been some time since I needed to review this, or the NM2s as well. I might go with the eDunes in this case. Of course, that's it for my video for today. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt review. Bye bye.